What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. North Korea seems pretty pissed off here as we have this US soldier that crossed into their territory. And they have now fired multiple sets of new cruise missiles into the sea as warning shots. We now here have House Foreign Affairs Committee Michael McCaul says the US soldier made a serious mistake by crossing the North Korea border. And he wonders what the price will be to get the US soldier back. That the US may have to pay a serious price, and that we may have to pay concessions and give in to North Korea. As a country, we may have to give them some serious things to get this US soldier back. Take a listen to what the congressman has to say here.
Of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Congressman Michael McCaul. Good morning.
Morning,
Congressman. Let's start with Travis King. You heard Secretary Blinken there saying there are concerns he could be tortured. I'm sure he's probably been interrogated in some way already. What more do you know?
He was facing disciplinary charges and was going to fly back to the United States, but instead he did not board the plane, went with a tour group to the DMZ, and then ran across the line. You and I have been there. That's something you just don't do. And now he was taken captive by North Koreans, and I'm sure that he's not being treated very well. I think it was a serious mistake on his part, and I hope we can get him back.
But getting him back, we all want him returned safely and unharmed. But as you said, he went over there on his own. He decided to cross the border. So that's got to complicate any sort of negotiations that might take place.
Correct. I mean, question is he defecting? I think it was more running from his problems. That was the wrong place to go. But, we see this with Russia, China, Iran. When they take an American, particularly a soldier, captive, they exact a price for that. And that's what I worry about.
And of course, this comes at a time, as we were just saying, as that nuclear ballistic submarine was in dock there in South Korea, which I saw. Is that a good idea? And why now?
Oh, I think it is. And we were with Admiral Aquilino, Indo-PACOM commander. I think projecting strength right now is important for deterrence. As you noted, it's the first time in 4 decades we've had this deployment of submarines. And I think it's a projection of strength that we need right now to deter aggression. We're seeing a very aggressive, not only North Korea and the rockets they fired in the Sea of Japan, but also the aggression we see from China. When I just came back from Taiwan, they encircled the island with 10 battleships and armada, 70 fighter jets to threaten and intimidate us. And then I was sanctioned just to illustrate how aggressive their posture is now.
But the reaction already from the North Koreans, and we've seen this again and again, is to say, look, now we can use nuclear weapons, and this was outrageous behavior, and we're going to respond. So based on their reaction, just again, is deterrence going to work?
North Korea needs to know that we're there and we have superiority with the submarines and nuclear subs. We need to get in their head and Chairman Xi's head that if they do anything that's aggressive militarily, there will be consequences to that. And I think it's not by accident, it's by design that you're seeing the Pacific Command deploy these nuclear subs now for the first time in 40 years, because the tension has been provocative by Chairman Xi in North Korea, not by the United States, but rather by our adversaries.
You have followed this for years and years. I have followed this for years and years. It really does seem to, the cycle just repeats itself. So many presidents have tried to solve the problem of a nuclear North Korea. They have been unable to do this. Is there another approach? Should the United States just say we're going to accept that and join the nuclear nations because we keep doing this over and over and over?
And it never seems to work. You're right.
Exactly.
Are we going to work with Kim Jong-un to try? Can we really persuade him? He puts his own people at risk to build this expensive, nuclear weapons. They have capacity. They can reach the continental United States. They don't have the nuclear warheads to put on it.
But they're trying.
But they're trying. We got to stay ahead of the curve. China has a lot of influence, but China isn't our best friend right now. So it's a very complicated. I think.
So is there another approach? Can you
Yeah.
imagine another approach besides exactly what we're doing over and over?
That would have to be very creative diplomacy. And I think the reason why you're seeing the Pacific Command fleet there is to deter and bottleneck up North Korea. In the event of a conflict with Taiwan, we need to be with South Korea to bottleneck up North Korea that could fire missiles into that conflict and take them off the table while we have to deal with China and Russia and Iran.
And I want to switch to climate. You saw our first segment there, so much on climate, the scorching heat. Do you consider it a national security threat, climate change?
I think it's happening, right? And it's hot outside, and the climate is changing. And when you have arid, Africa, for instance, is becoming more and more arid, which, famine, breaks out of that. Terrorism breaks out of that, those conditions. Kerry testified before my committee. My big objection is this. China should be held to the same standards. They are a developing nation under the UN Charter, self-designated, and that enables them they can defer compliance with the Paris Agreements till 2060, while we have to be carbon neutral by 2030. And I said that to Secretary Kerry. My constituents agree with fairness.
Our climate czar.
This is not fair to treat them as they're the second largest economic superpower and the #1 polluter on the planet. If we're going to do this at all, Martha, do it right, make them comply to our terms.
And which we keep trying to do, I know. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Senator McCall, appreciate it always.
That's House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman, Republican Michael McCaul from Texas. Seems like a pretty level-headed guy on a lot of different things. He doesn't seem too far right, too far left. Seems like a realist. You can let me know your thoughts on that. And yeah, I agree with him on a lot of different things. And yeah, North Korea especially, I think it's going to be, even though, this guy, he kind of defected or did defect, and he seemed like he was kind of running away from his problems. It's kind of exactly what he did. He is still a U.S. soldier. We want to get him back. We don't want to just leave him there to die. And now it's a problem. It's a serious problem. North Korea themselves are a serious problem. What an absolute nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. Yeah, North Korea and Russia seem to be the two biggest problems. We also have China, who could invade Taiwan. It seems like North Korea and Russia seem to be a little bit more of a serious threat. Ugh. Yeah, what do you think is going to happen here? Do you think we can get this soldier back? Or do you think North Korea will be just unreasonable? Remember that I don't know if this was the last time they had a U.S. prisoner, but one of the last times they had a U.S. prisoner, they had this student who took a poster, or reportedly took a propaganda poster. They kept him in detainment for like a year and a half, and they sent him back to us only when he was in a coma. They sent him back to us, and he died like a few days later. Just to give you an idea of what North Korea is capable of. And that guy wasn't even a U.S. soldier. Yeah. So it's not a pretty situation. They're firing missiles as warning shots almost every single day. And yeah, to say that they're a little bit unreasonable to have to negotiate with, and now we have to negotiate with them to try to get this U.S. soldier back. Regardless of whether he defected or not, he's still a U.S. soldier, and we have to try to get him back. The motto, leave no man behind, it's going to be a rough one. It's going to be a rough one. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything happening here in our country and around the world. If you haven't yet, click the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos that come out here on our YouTube channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for liking and sharing these videos. It helps out our YouTube channel grow. Click here to see why people are appalled at what is happening at McDonald's, or you can click here to see why North Korea says a nuclear attack would be justified. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.